We're all here now. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, this is a part of the meeting that you're not on the agenda and you got something to talk about, we'll discuss it, but we can't act on it, and we could act on it at a later date. So is anybody here that's not on the agenda that's got anything?
I have a question.
Yes?
Recently, there was an election board meeting shared on Facebook. You know, it was only accessible through a link. So it was like uploading to YouTube. It was a non-accessible video or whatever. I was curious, like, I know you guys like set up the video deal. Is there like a requirement, what boards are getting uploaded? I mean, I guess
beginning January 1st, there is a requirement, for all, public boards to, have a live feed, I believe. I think that is the start date for that.
I was just curious. I know a ton of people watch those videos.
Yeah.
So, and it was just public, or private, whatever. I thought it was interesting they were being recorded but not uploaded.
Andrew, would you have did that one differently than you do the rest of them?
They're normally, that specific board normally records those for the purpose of making sure that the video is accurate with the preparation of the minutes that are approved in the next meeting. So it's not been the practice of that board in the past to put those videos up, but there was a specific request for that meeting.
And then later it was uploaded.
And then it was uploaded publicly because of that request. But I think that beginning January 1st, all of them will be uploaded.
It's good. I mean, I think it's great. What gets uploaded does make it on there.
Now, you're saying, you said a live feed, so it has, in the future, it has to be live?
I believe so.
It has to be either live streamed and recorded, or recorded and viewed.
And viewable.
Okay.
And it is July 1st.
July 1st, sorry. When
That's fine. I mean, I didn't know there was a ruling for that, so.
Yep.
So did that answer your question, Jonathan?
But I think we're trying to transition to all the boards
That's great.
Well,
before July 1st.
I've never heard anybody complain about watching a video.
Too much information.
Yeah, so, anybody else? All right. Kevin? Kevin! What do you got?
Okay, I got a handful of things here, so kind of give you a small structure update. So the 2024-1 CCMG small structures are all complete. We came in budget, and we didn't have any change orders, so that was pretty good success. And then our 2024-1 CCMG chip and seal, it is actually closed out, so we're done with that, and we came under like $2,200 under. So those are done, and the structures will be closed out hopefully by beginning of November totally, paperwork wise.
Good job.
So that covers that. Building update, city's currently putting in our water, got it marked to put our water meter in. It was insulated. The guys are putting concrete blocks around the inside right now for the salt and cinders barrier. Working on that now, and the bird netting, and I got to get some prices together for everything else. So it's moving along. Our main goal was right now is to get the cinders and the salt in before it starts freezing. We was able to secure some more cinders from the power plant. I was told we couldn't do it no more. I just drove down there, and the guy come out. They still do it. They charge you a little different now because it's got to be cleaned, I guess. But anyway, we got about 800 tons, so we mix those with salt, and that helps.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next thing I got. A couple things on CDO training over at the health department. So we got a guy right now that's got his he's got, I call him state aid, so he has a dump truck panel hitch, so he's got his permit, he's gonna upgrade to, to go drive the semi. And all he has to do is a driving test, so over at the health department, we kinda set up a little bit and worked over there, but we were in the way. But there's a blue pole that kinda sticks up randomly back here in the back, probably ain't holding nothing. We just wanted to see maybe if we could take that out and scoot the course over, all the way over to the edge and like out of the way. And, we could train our guys and stuff down there.
What's the loophole?
I don't
Does it
know.
serve a purpose?
It does serve a purpose. It looks like maybe it was a sign for something once upon a time. It's just sticking up randomly.
Oh, I bet it was one of them old flag posts that they used to put the flags
It's
for
pretty
the
big,
cars.
pretty big, but we could pull it out and fix it. It's just in the way, but it's right in the path of where we need to be, so.
Yep.
He was good with that. We could do it. We had a couple things on, and this is kinda still open on the CDO training. So, there's municipalities that's looking to get trained. We got a couple of us that is trained to be able to train other people. If you had any interest where we could actually train different people there, and it looks like maybe, and I don't have this nailed down 100%, but possible that part of that person's county's salary to get paid from a grant if he's training, being a trainer for that. There's some options out there that told us about in our training that we took, but I'll look into it. I just kind of wanted to see if you all was open to that, if
I'm open
it's
to it.
something we can make it work. And,
Is there any kind of liability if we're training somebody and?
so the training we went to made us, I guess, registered federally that we was able to train and sign off. They still gotta go take a state sanctioned test, but now how they got it set up, you gotta be able to say, yeah, I've been trained by somebody that's
Okay.
been trained. And, so as far as liability, I don't think so, besides maybe them being on our property. That'd be something I'd have to look at.
I guess what I was looking at is if, say you train somebody and they were involved in an accident down the road and, years from now, and they said, well, I got trained at Scott County.
Yeah, I think you're
Highway."
good, because we'll actually be registered with the federal highway. We gotta get our name in, and actually Scott County will be registered as a training
Okay.
institute type thing.
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll kind of work on that. It's kind of a work in process, but, so. If you look at the top of that, that's gonna be what we was gonna go after for CCMG 2025-1. That's chip roads. I think there's 21.6 miles down there is what it says. And then if you look at the roads directly below that, that would be our projection for what we will pave with 2-inch pavement this year in-house. And I think that's like 6.61 miles or something like that. Those would be our road improvement plan. I think it's right around 26 miles altogether. The next thing down in the blue is that's gonna be, kind of your right of way and maintenance or a bridge crew that we put together. So we've come up with like 12 bridges that we're in need of, they had a lot of pile and washouts and stuff around them. So we come up with 12 bridges. I don't think we'll get 12 bridges done, but that's gonna be our, what we shoot for, and then carry over whatever's left to the next year. And then the back page, it'll show, it's got our mowing schedule that we're gonna shoot for next year. And, kinda, the rotations that we'll do it and the dates that we're gonna try to do it at, and that crew will also do the spraying, so kind of dates there for them to shoot at there too. And then the very bottom would be our 2025-1, small structure replacements. There's gonna be 5 of them to go after right there. So, that puts us over a little bit, puts us over like 405,000, so probably go for that, because I think the bids, and I'll see what the engineering estimate comes back at, and they might come back lower than what I got down there. But history, it says that our bids are gonna come in cheaper and we'll be fine, so I hate not to go for a bigger number. And when I say it puts us over, it only puts us over like 25,000, it's not that we couldn't pull out of somewhere else, it just kind of shoot to the top of it, I guess. But that'll be the plan there.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good, 27 miles.
And, oh, I about forgot this one.
Do you have anything for spring?
For spring, yeah, it's right underneath the mowing, as far as the schedule goes. You see it out there.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a detour agreement for 56 for NDOT project.
This one out by Zion.
I think that's actually, I don't think it's a project going on right now, I think
No,
it's 20, yeah,
56 and 30.
yeah, summer project. 2025 project.
That's not the same. Is that the deck on 56?
Yeah,
Didn't they do that once before?
I'm not for sure, I just glanced at it, to be honest with you.
We
I
got-
get so many of
What
them.
you got here? Maybe I can help you with it.
You're saying that, I hope I didn't print the wrong one out.
You bounce when you go through it now, so.
Which deck did it say?
Let's see, this is,
Roger just sent me, hey, you got that sign, and I just printed it off.
56. You got any, is there anything else to this?
Yeah.
Is that the one on 3 or the one on 56?
This is the one on 56, so
Goshen.
their initial,
Everything.
yeah, the initial project was just to go in and, take care of, if this is the same one, I think was, taking care of the approach slabs and such, and this is going, and they just did some patching on the deck, and this is to go in and actually replace the deck now. The old project was to get us by for a couple of years, and if that's,
That's the one they just did. Yeah, far from that. Speaking of that, since you work for the state, I don't know if you've been contacted, I mean, has anybody talked to you about, the overpass at Leota?
you get hit, or,
No, I'm talking about them shutting it down and doing something to it. Cause I know somebody from the state called and started to inquire about, you know, detours and letting emergency services know.
Is it
about-
the overpass, or is it the intersection where the roundabout's going, 356?
overpass, I
Is the overpass, okay. I don't know, I've not heard of the overpass one yet.
the only,
And maybe
Maybe
the
so.
roundabout makes more sense, cause I've known about it for a while.
Yeah, I've been in a meeting about that one, about
Because it'll shut
plan,
down,
I guess.
it'll shut down Little York Road, or, you know, Little York Road.
Leota Road, yeah, it'll shut it down.
And
I'll find
that
out.
sounds more sense that it's the roundabout.
Yeah, I think that, that's the only project I've been, and that was like last year, so I can't remember all the details, but it was just kinda like a preliminary meeting about it. Kinda the plans of the school buses and stuff.
That's what this was kind of about, but fire
It's-
equipment and stuff.
It's gonna be like a two-part process, I think they're gonna try to keep some of it open when they're doing the roundabout, but then there's that, I guess that'd be considered a bridge structure that goes at a diagonal all the way across 56 right there,
Yeah.
or 31. And they'll replace that. And I think when that goes out, the road will shut down, my understanding.
So
Yeah,
what are they,
and I think the bridge structure that's on 356 is also bundled in that project.
Yeah, it's like a three-phase type project.
well, that's gonna have to be
It's gonna
some,
take a while.
that's gonna have to be some discussion because with the school being there.
One of the school board members was on the call, Sarah Friday, I think.
Yeah.
Was on there.
And I, like I say, there's not even a set of plans yet for this project. It's way out there like in 2030 or something, so.
Yeah.
We'll be dead by
Well, yeah, so, you know, I mean, I'm sure there'll be every effort to phase
then. That'd be a great
the
summer
MOT
job.
for the bridge part of it. But there'll be some closures, obviously, when it comes to the roundabout. Because usually they'll work on a couple of legs. That sounds right, Paul, and try to keep a couple of legs open, but there's going to be closures during that. So we'll have more information as that comes on. I think, we just did, you know, there was a consultant, signed to it, so, there's no plans yet.
Did you look
A
at,
lot of ideas, but no,
No set.
nothing,
Yeah, it was just
nothing on
kinda,
paper yet.
yeah.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the state's, detour for the project.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes that motion, Greg.
I'll second.
Greg seconds that, I'll make that unanimous, so. What else you got?
That's it.
Yeah,
Really?
keep in mind, I used to help train CDLs. That's.
They've made a big deal out of it anymore.
Yeah, it was,
Money
The only
right.
thing I haven't figured out is these guys, these state employees that, you know, they have a snow plowing training. You know, do they train them to bend the poles at a 45 or,
Yeah, that's additional training.
cause when I was younger, a lot younger, I always knew who was out there scraping snow and I could just about tell what roads that guy was running, cause every one of them would be bent at a 45.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
great extra training.
One thing I was gonna, run past you, Mr. Treview with the, Findlay Fire Department, contacted me about a, road sign, Zion Road,
Okay.
road sign was down. If you get a chance, you look
I
at
think
that.
I maybe got a work request on it today. I got a work request, I can't remember what it was, but it was,
He said, is that a state sign? I said, you know, state wouldn't put up the Zion Road
yeah,
sign. I mean, we-
yeah.
That road's shut down right now, isn't it?
Yeah,
From Findlay Firehouse to Zion.
On 56.
on 56, yeah.
I know we went out, the reason I called you the other day is that they called the fire department, to go out and cut a tree off the road, that fell, and I thought, well, the road's still open, so we got out there and the road was closed,
Oh.
but the state was 2 hours getting there,
Yeah.
and it was, I forgot you guys were off.
It's a short closure.
Truthfully, ought to been, if it's in the construction zone, it probably ought to been the contractor,
They weren't there,
but, yeah.
Hey,
so.
we
It's
talked
funny, you
about-
know, and just to let you guys know, I did, talk to the Sheriff's Department, I did have a couple of calls, for semi-traffic, loves to use their GPS and say, hey, there's the shortcut, I'm gonna find myself out on Bolton Road and out on Louis York Road, and why these guys do this, I'll never know. And then they get out there and then they smash culverts or tear something up, so, they had told me that, yeah, they would patrol out through there and discourage, those trucks from moving around out in there, the best they could, so.
Well, we talked about that before, if truck gets off the road and they're tearing up ditch lines or culverts or anything else, that there needs to be a police report made on it. So somebody's paying for it.
Yeah.
We talked about, I think, Bogartis. Did you ever get a chance to look at that on the bridge sucking back behind the head wall?
No, I'm trying to be honest, but I never thought of it again until you just said it, and then I'll check it out. I'll write it down and, look at it. If I don't write it down, I'll forget it.
All right. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Say if the new, structure, employee structure is working still,
The new one,
the new structure of your employees.
yeah, I think, kinda on that work plan right there, we put several intersection upgrades, so when I say intersection upgrades on there, and then we can add or take away as we go, but, you know, painted stop bars and signage and some of these more high-speed, you know, spots. I think that, I feel like the painted stop bar, that's a big difference. Like seeing, I don't know why, I didn't realize how big a difference it was, so we done it out there on Finley Firehouse, I'm like, that really makes the stop sign stick out. So, you know, we'll try to, we got several down Slab Road, we was gonna try to do stop bars, and then our coffee pot and Cut Shaw, you know, those are all, and Van Campton and Coffee Pot, those are always high speed areas, so. We got plans to work on them too.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. You're doing a good job, Beth.
Veteran service driver.
I did, and I thought I sent that to you, but I did not print it out. Do you want it printed?
Is it just a job description?
Yes, it is.
It's exactly what we talked about, wasn't
It is.
It was approved by
Wagner, Irwin, and
Wagner
Schuler, yeah.
Chili, so I think at this point, you could go ahead and approve the job description as submitted. And then it's, you know, on to the council to create and fund the position.
it? Okay. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the veteran service driver, job description.
I'll make that motion.
Sorry. Was there a specific, line item that we were considering taking that from?
Yeah.
Was
We was gonna use the opioid, unrestricted.
unrestricted?
Yeah.
How much was it?
30,000, I think is.
I think that's what we were gonna appropriate.
Yeah.
I think that's, was it $17 an hour?
Yeah.
I think-
Yes.
Okay,
If there's only 30-ish
yeah.
thousand
Yes.
remaining. That's not a renewable.
I think we were talking more of just an hourly person, part-time, and it would be funded as
Okay.
money needed.
Yeah,
I think if we just communicate to council that, if they need an authorization for use of the opioid funds in the unrestricted category, that we would be okay with that for the 2025 cycle.
yes.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the job description along with the $17 an hour for a part-time position.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes that motion, Greg.
I'll say,
Greg seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous, so. Part-time, we'll send it on to the council for their blessing. EMA burn ban, and this is something that the commissioners have done and actually lifted it, so. We have to sign a form that states with the state that we officially did it. So, I'll entertain a motion to sign the emergency ban.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes that motion, Greg. Second. Greg seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous, so. County computer list.
That's me. We had to get a list from Andrew for our Title IV work. And when I got that and reviewed it, there's 4 laptops assigned to my office. One is for the commissioners, one is for the council. And I know the council has requested more for them. I don't really feel comfortable having other elected officials in my name on that. I would rather have that moved out, that the council is, or the council is responsible for theirs and the commissioners are responsible for theirs. If that's,
That's
I'd
fine.
just like to have your blessing on that since you own the computers.
I like having that insurance buffer that's in your name.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too.
What you need to do, Andrew?
I mean, the same form goes back to them, but I mean, we could just.
Just separate
make
it.
two different forms.
Okay.
Alright, we can make that happen?
Yeah.
Alright, thank you. Alright, consideration of, any special invoices or regular claims.
We do not have special, but we do have the regular ones here.
Everybody had an opportunity to see those from Mandy.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the claims.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes that motion.
I'm
Greg.
sorry.
Greg seconds that. I'll make it unanimous. We're talking about the payroll for October the 18th, November the 1st. We good?
Yes.
I don't know that I can answer that question, to be honest with you.
We have to pay them, right?
What I can say is that the county commissioners' authority or, obligation is to determine that the claims are in proper order, that the, invoices or claims, match the, requested amounts from the employee, third party, whoever it is that's making the claim, and to ensure that they comply with other requirements contained in, I just had it pulled up.
The reason I'm questioning this, and I'll just be honest here, is that with the thing that's going on with the council, is that we wanna make sure that we're appropriating or, paying individuals, and we don't wanna be doing something if we know that there's something not on a line item to pay it, so that's why I've, in years past, I've questioned it one other time, and I don't feel comfortable, approving payroll for something that I could possibly know the money's not there, so,
I mean,
but,
the issue becomes, even if we make a determination that you've approved the claims, I think that the statute requires that the claims only be paid if there is sufficient appropriation. Okay, and I mentioned this probably 8 months ago in a meeting where there was concern because Jennifer is the fiscal officer for the county and she cannot draw on a claim or warrant where there is not sufficient appropriation to pay the claim. If she were to do that, she herself could be subject to penalties that are outlined in the statute. So despite the fact that I might say that in theory you could approve the claims in the sense that they are, you believe that they're correct, proper, and match, the claims, the payments, Jennifer does not have the authority to make those payments unless there is sufficient appropriation. And the specific subsection is Indiana Code 5-11-10-1.6. So I don't know if I can give you a straight answer on.
well, to be honest here, I mean, we have the money in an account properly for that, but the point of it is that.
I don't think that that's not the standard though.
Yeah.
It's not that money exists, it's that money has been appropriated, and those are two different things. So, specifically, the fiscal officer of a governmental entity may not draw a warrant or check for payment of a claim unless all of the following apply. There's a fully itemized invoice or bill for the claim. The invoice or bill is approved by the officer or person receiving the goods and services. the invoice or bill is filed with the governmental entity's fiscal officer. Fiscal officer audits and certifies before payment, the invoice or bill is true and correct, and payment of the claim is allowed by the government entity's legislative body or the board or official having jurisdiction over the allowance of the payment of the claim. My reservation here, even though there's some statutes that define the county fiscal body as the county council, county executive as county commissioners, there's some crossover between who is defined as county legislative body. And in this particular circumstance, because we're dealing with appropriations and claims, I think that there has to be money in an appropriated amount sufficient to allow Jennifer to make a payment. So you can theoretically make a determination that all of the other subsections are met, but I do not believe that you would be able to essentially invade council's jurisdiction over that piece of the claims process.
Okay. Well, I just want it noted so that if something else comes up about it, but we talked about it, discussed it, and had a concern about it, so. So with that, I'll entertain a motion for the payroll for October the 18th and November the 1st of 2024.
I'll make that motion to the best of my ability.
Randy makes the motion, Greg seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous, so. Consideration of the minutes for September the 18th and October the 2nd. If everybody had an opportunity to look at the minutes, then I'll entertain a motion to,
Actually, for October the 16th, I think I might have it one on the agenda. With just one,
which date was it?
October the 16th.
Instead of the 2nd?
Yes.
All right, I'll amend that to, September the 18th and October the 16th.
It's just October the
October the
16th.
16th, all right. Let's scratch that out.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes a motion to accept the minutes for October the 16th. Greg seconds that, I'll make that unanimous, so. I wanna amend the agenda, so I'll entertain a motion to amend the agenda for one item.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes a motion to amend the agenda, Greg.
I'll second.
Greg seconds that, I'll make that unanimous. The reason I'm asking is, I know we've discussed the tree out here in the southwest corner of the courthouse. It's got a lot of dead limbs and stuff in it at one time. Some time ago, we talked about having it cut down, cut up, stumped around, and everything else. It just never got done. And so I actually reached out to one of the local tree trimmers, and he gave me an estimate of $3,000 to remove, cut, and haul off everything that is going to be, that would come off that tree, in the amount of $3,000, so that's got any
I
discussion
wanna
on.
make sure it's a private person who's paying for the use of county equipment to remove things.
No,
Okay.
this is a business,
Okay, sorry.
yeah, the tree service.
Where are we taking the funds from?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, does the maintenance have it in his? Cause at one time, that's where we were taking it from.
I would have to look. I could not tell you off the top of my head, but it's got to remember right now.
The reason I'm kind of not shoving this through, but the reason I'm shoving this through is that in the next week or so, we're gonna be putting Christmas decorations up in the courtyard, and I don't wanna be cutting a tree down, cause otherwise it's gonna be January. So he says that if we can get him in, he would get in, cut it down, have it gone before, that would happen, so.
We have it in our commissioner's budget if nothing else,
That's
right?
what I was going.
All
Yeah.
right, so I'll make a motion to
All right,
proceed.
Randy makes a motion to, have Ross Tree Service cut down the tree in the courtyard, Greg.
I'll second that.
Greg seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous, so give that to Jennifer, so she can, so I'll contact him, and, cause he said he would do it. He'd move everything out of the way and get it cut down and out of the way, so that we could get the Christmas decorations up without interfering with it.
Couple of things, just, house cleaning stuff, the door over here at, corrections, did we get that? Where we at?
Do we need to
just
get
go
somebody
get
else to do
somebody,
it?
Well,
Cause we need to fix that.
yeah, we didn't
So,
fix that.
I don't mind to take the lead on it and get it done.
Well, I had, supposedly, the door got ordered and everything else, but then it didn't, so.
I never knew that, I didn't know it didn't get ordered.
Yeah, the two, brothers were doing it, and then they weren't, so,
Okay.
So anyway, if we have to get another contractor to do it, we just need to get it done, so.
Okay. I'll work on that, and, our, church construction work,
Oh, crap, yeah. Actually, I'll do that before I leave tonight.
I gotta think about that, cause I was talking to Wendy today, and it just,
I
talking to
got,
him and construction kinda goes together, so.
I've got it on my computer, so I'll amend that and I'll send it to you guys. I'll send it to Randy. Randy said he's gonna reach out to the engineer, so,
Yeah, because we gotta have the engineer sign off on.
yeah. So, you got anything else?
That's it.
You got anything, Randy?
No,
Jennifer, you have anything?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Mr. Counselor, you have anything? All right, I'll entertain a motion to, adjourn until our joint meeting in a few minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes a motion, Greg.
I'll second.
Greg seconds it, I'll make it unanimous, so. Kill the bird.